Hello everybody and welcome to Better Call Sukan. Better Call Sukan is a podcast that we will talk about different kinds of sports. I am your host for today, as always, �12𝙇𝙊𝘾𝙄𝑼 with my partner here. Hello boy, what's your name?
Carl.
Hello Carl, how are you today?
Okay, excited.
Excited? I am very, very, very excited because this is a certain sport today. Ya, 3 kali. 3 kali very, very, very excited. Sebab today ada sports yang very interesting yang aku tak pernah dengar. And before this kita ada panggil guest. Dan dia cakap soalan yang kita tanya macam, kalau ada episod sukan apa yang korang nak, you want us to panggil. And dia cakap
Underwater hockey.
Underwater hockey. Sebab itu kita panggil Coach Umamah. Dia cerita pasal hoki. Lepas tu kita tanya dia, kalau ada sukan lain untuk panggil, nak sukan apa? Tu dia cakap okay, hoki tapi dalam air. Kita orang time tu kalau boleh repeat balik whatever that we had itu, that situation, we like what? Main hoki
semua orang dalam bilik.
Semua dalam bilik terus Google. Kita punya Fahana yang jaga audio ni memang dia terus Google what is that, like,
semua.
kita orang macam legit ke dia ni? Rupanya it's a legit sport. Ada Malaysian athletes and it's a community, it's a sport. So dengan itu kita macam kita bagi shout out juga hari tu. And now kita dah ada guest dia pada hari ni. And we are very excited to have you. Thank you for coming. Carl, tanpa buang masa, aku dah cakap dah, kita akan sembang pasal sukan apa. Aku terlebih excited hari ni. So the sports of today, ladies and gentlemen, is underwater hockey. Bukan pool hockey, tapi underwater hockey. Alright Carl, tanpa buang masa, tolonglah introduce lah kepada mereka siapa guest kita pada hari ini.
Welcome to the show, Roshan.
Hi
Welcome.
guys.
Hi.
How are you?
Welcome to the show.
Good.
Thank you for coming.
Are you overwhelmed with that introduction?
Yeah.
Betul. I'm really excited and like I really want to know about this sport actually. It's like very interesting. So thank you for having the time to come and want to share to everyone about underwater hockey. Yes. So basically before anything lah, kita nak sembang pasal underwater hockey ke apa ke, we want to ask you your personal sporting journey. How do you get started with ada sukan lain, and then how do you get into underwater hockey?
Okay,
Yes.
so my motivation for sports came from my mom.
Okay.
She always wanted me to be a football player because her brother used to play football. Her uncle or cousin used to be a football player as well.
Okay, cool.
So since young, she used to pack up all my bags, send me to the field, force me to play football. But I was always afraid of playing football, scared of injuries. But I was quite active in athletics. I used to run quite well.
Okay.
So used to run all the way, went up to MSSS, represented MSSS to Selangor level, got to MSSM. But maybe I'm quite injury prone. So every time I try to do something at the highest level, I get injured.
Okay.
My siblings, my sisters used to fight taekwondo as well, even qualified for Sukma. So I got into taekwondo as well. Same thing, went up to MSSM, qualified for Sukma, but had a very bad injury, tore my abdomen muscle, fractures. Had to retire from the sport. Went back into doing heptathlon. At the time I was staying in Sabah. Heptathlon yang buat 7 events, then you win 1 medal. So you do high jump, long jump, hurdles, long distance, javelin, short put. So you collect points and then you win. So you have pentathlon, heptathlon and decathlon.
Decathlon tu bukan kedai ke?
No. There was an event.
Okay, can you just bagi not in detail, like just basic, what is heptathlon, pentathlon, decathlon tu?
So 5 event, 7 and 10, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, something like that. A very famous athlete we had last time was Malik Tobias.
I see.
Heptathlete. Yep.
Okay. So I now today baru tahu
Got to know another sport.
Decathlon ni dia bukan kedai. Dia nama sukan
There is a sport also.
Oh, I am a big Decathlon fan of the kedai. I should have known this. Patutlah
Kita interview orang di Decathlon kat Decathlon.
Okay. Alright, continue.
Yeah. So then went to Sabah. I got into doing high jump. So at one point I was actually holding the record for Standakan in Sabah.
Nice.
And then once I got back, then I started, getting into football a little. Because when I was in Sabah, my athletic coach saw me and said like, hey, you can run, why don't you play as a winger, just run with the ball. I tried doing that. I did quite well. So I tried playing 9-a-side leagues, 7-a-side leagues. There's no offside, so I can easily wait on top, easily score goals. So played a few competitions, got top scorer and all. Then when I came back and I joined Taylor's College. So at that time was where Taylor's had very minimal sport activities. They didn't have like a field at that time. So we wanted to play football. You know, you just came in playing leagues and also you wanted to play football. So I founded the Taylor's College Football Club. So I coach, manage and play. And then we went and played in the Inter-Uni League and all. Then we started to win some games. And then things became serious. And then I had a very bad bike accident. I broke my knee. Currently now I have like 27 broken bones. So doctors told me like you can't do sports anymore. You have to retire. But then, you know, being an athlete, you can't sit quietly. Even though
tak boleh duduk diam for
2
sure.
months after my knee injury, I started playing futsal. I popped my kneecap again, went back to hospital, you know, keep repeating the same thing. So I had a few friends. I kind of went into depression because can't do sports. And then I had a few of my friends who used to run this marathon, 21 km, half marathons and all. And they told me, like, why don't you come and run with us? Just go fun. Came back, first event, I think I did was 15 km event. You know, once you go in, even though you say you want to do it for fun, but that competitive mindset kicks in. I got 5th place. When I push hard. Then my friend said, hey, you can still run. And I think I kind of locked my mind from thinking about any kinds of disabilities I have, and I was able to run. And then I started to challenge myself. So I started to do ultra marathons. Ultra marathons. Did 24 hours runs.
24 hours run. Okay, berapa kilometer tu?
I think the longest I did was 86 kilometers in 24 hours. But there are people who can easily do 200 over kilometers there. So for me, it was like challenging myself. It was more of a mind game, not rather to win podiums or what, but just to see if I can finish. And then, you know, when you used to do heptathlon, the person who wins everything, they call them the Iron Man. But then I realized at that time, Iron Man was something like doing triathlon. The event itself was called Iron Man. So I wanted to challenge myself. I said, I want to get that title. So I started going into open water swimming, long distance cycling, then got into triathlons. And I've already done 3 half Ironman distances.
In Langkawi tu?
Langkawi I did once. I did the Iskandar Putri and then the Saru.
Wow.
So I did 3.
You did 3 half Ironman?
Yep, did 3.
Full belum lagi?
Full belum lagi. Full, I don't think so. My body can tahan lah. I did 22 Olympic distance triathlon. Did 1 sprint and I managed to podium in that. Got 3rd. And then, so while I was doing swimming, I also wanted to challenge myself. I did like Kapas Marang, swim from Kapas Island to Marang Town, which was about 6.4 kilometers, open water swimming. Did 180 kilometers cycling. And then while I was doing all of this, I wanted to focus into coaching. So memang when I was younger, I did like athletic coaching certificates and all. But when I wanted to do triathlon, I went and got myself Ironman uni. They have an Ironman uni. I got certified from there. So I was coaching people triathlon while I was training my own self. Then I went and did my American swim coaching certificate. I started coaching swimming. And while I was coaching swimming, that was when a few friends from Singapore came down. And they told us that, hey, we have this sport called as underwater hockey. We would like to introduce to Malaysians. So this was in August 2016. So we 3 hours, we used to coach swimming. Whenever got breaks in between, we bring out the stakes, we bring out the park, we'll go and practice. So things was never serious with underwater hockey. It was just more like a recreational fun thing we were doing. Because when you say underwater sport, it's actually very, very good to increase your lung capacity. It also helps you with your awareness underwater. Because there's no communication. It's all visual. So bonding as well improves, you know, understanding between each another. So it was something very fun we used to play as friends. And then 2019 things got serious when they said the sport is going to SEA Games. Because the host country was Philippines. Philippines have been playing underwater hockey for more than 40 over years.
40 tahun? 40 years?
So this sport is actually a very old sport. It has been there since 1954. It was originally developed by this guy named Alan Walter Blake. He's a Navy SEAL diver. They actually developed this sport to actually train the Navy SEALs to
the lung capacity,
better lung capacity. Because during winter, UK, cold country, they can't go to the sea. They used to train this on a heated pool. So originally the sport was called as octopush. Why? They used their snorkel and they used to push their diving weights at the bottom of the floor. So that was their training. And a few of these divers, they actually ventured into other parts of the world. Some of them went to Canada, some went to South Africa, and then they started to promote it there. And then it started to become like a sport. And in Canada, since ice hockey is very famous, they came out with the rules similar to ice hockey, but it's just underwater. And to commercialize the sport, it became as underwater hockey. So in UK, if you go now, the competition is still called as octopush.
Okay.
Octopush.
Octopush, like octopus, 4 tentacles. So you got 4 guys used to push last time, so it became octopush.
But you still need to wear the diving punya benda tu ke?
Okay, so now the equipments have over time changed as well.
Okay.
So last time the equipments they used like the single mask, the spearfishing or diving mask. But due to safety and all, so now the equipments we use polo caps to protect the ears.
Okay.
Then we use dual lens mask. Equipments, you have the sticks like this. You have a glove for the playing hand. This is to not keep your fingers safe. The ball is called a puck, similar to ice hockey, but ours is much more heavier, 1.5 kilos. And then we use fins. Fins is not, it's not really similar to the normal diving fins because you ada yang buckle and all. Ours is just full foot, or you call it a strap. Open heel fin. Got sizing as well. So ada rubber fin, you got carbon fin as well.
Okay, wow.
And then what other equipments you use? You got mouth guard and then the snorkel. That's about it.
Okay.
Sorry. Okay. How do you play? We technically segment 1 is done.
Okay.
Segment 2, okay, you dah cakap dah how it started and so on and so forth. How do you play it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Olympic size swimming pool, yeah.
So the size of the pool, specifics of the pool is 25 meters by 15 meters. The depth can be anywhere 2 meters to 3 meters deep, and it should be a flat pool.
Okay.
So some world championships, they do it in a 3 meter deep pool. In Malaysia, we don't have such pool which is 3 meters flat. There's only one facility in Malaysia where it's 2 meters flat, which is in Sky Arena Tapak. So that's where we play our competitions. But most of the time in training pool and all, we still have to manage with the slanted pool. So you put the puck, it'll just slide down to the other end. We need to chase until we catch, right? So yeah, so specifics is that. There is a few formats. So there is the normal world championships are 6 versus 6. 10 players, or now we have 2 extra reserves. So it's 12 in a team.
Okay.
So 10 will be playing. So 6 in the game, 4 rolling subs. Whenever you're tired, you just swim out, the next player comes inside, and 2 will be reserve. So the reserve is, if you have any injuries in one game, the next game you can bring in your reserve players in.
Okay.
You'll have coaches, can be 1 or 2 coaches. There'll be 1 team manager. Some teams, they have like their nutritionists, physiotherapists and all going with the team. So squad depends lah. Some team will just come with 10, some will come with 12 with additional support crew and all. You have mixed team as well, mixed team competition, but most of the world competitions are men's and women's.
Okay.
Categories, you have junior, you got youth, you got elite, and then you have masters. Masters is anywhere 34 and above.
30 plus pun ada lagi the sports.
So like some competition like SEA Games kita pergi main, macam Philippines team captain dia masa tu 2019, captain dia is 54 years old.
Wow.
So one thing unique about this sport. So okay, 2 things unique about this sport. The first one, there's only 2 sports in the whole world which is 3D. One is underwater hockey, the other one is underwater rugby.
There's underwater rugby juga.
Yeah.
So sekarang dekat Malaysia pun ada.
I'm pioneering it. Hopefully by end of this year or early next year, we'll have the team already.
We have to call also the
We have to call him back.
underwater rugby. So okay, wow, underwater hockey, underwater rugby.
Yeah.
Nafas Arif.
What do you mean by 3D? Can you just
So 3D, the game can move in any direction. So you can go up, down, left, right in any diagonal angles. Because the whole pool. So if you say swimming, you're swimming only on the top surface.
Okay, yeah.
But our sport is at the bottom. But we also need to swim up to get our breath to dive down back. So you're moving in all angles.
Okay.
So if you go inside and you look up, you're actually in a 3D world moving around. So it's a 3D sport. I think the only other sport you can compare to 3D sport is aviation sport.
Yeah, maybe
Flying around. So that is something. But for now, I mean, in the whole world recognized as 3D sport, there's only 2. Underwater hockey, underwater rugby. So that's the first unique stuff. The second thing is, people always think this sport is more of apnea. So when you say underwater, you think that you need to go down and hold your breath. A lot of people, when you say underwater hockey, they think that we're using scuba tanks.
Okay.
But it's actually a breath hold sport. But ours is quite fast. It's not like free diving that you need to hold your breath throughout the whole end. 5 minutes, 6 minutes, 7 minutes. Ours average is about 11 to about 20 minutes. Minutes plus seconds.
Okay.
Okay.
Kena tahan.
You dive
Tahan
down.
nafas 20 minit. Bisang
You
tak?
dive down, you push. Out of breath, you pass to your friend, you come up to breathe, you dive down back. So we normally just go for one breath up and down.
Oh, so naik, ambil nafas, turun, bola tu pass.
Pass and then play around, pass. And again, if you remember the name I said, originated from octopush. We don't whack the ball, we are actually pushing the ball. So it's not like field hockey where you can whack. We don't whack. Sometimes if you whack too hard, the stick will break. So we just push it around, but we do passing. We can actually pass the ball at least 3 meters away, and it can also lift up the ground.
Oh, you can scoop it lah.
It's not really scooping, there is technique, we call it flicking. So you flick it with the right angle, the ball will actually fly up.
Oh, nanti kita kena tanya juga cara dia ni macam Coach Mama
Ni dia.
ke. I want to know the origins of underwater hockey, if you don't mind sharing. Like you said, like Philippines 40 tahun, 40 years, but is it originally from there or?
No, so it originated from UK.
UK.
So from UK.
You said the Navy.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it started there, known
What
as
year?
octopush, 1954.
1954.
Yeah.
Okay.
So then it spread out to South Africa, Canada. Currently now we have about 45 countries which plays underwater hockey. At the Worlds you have, so you know, like World Championship, you get about 18 countries coming in for the finals. In Asia, if you see, the oldest is pretty much Philippines. Second will be Singapore. Singapore has been playing about 12 or 13, 14 years now. And then Indonesia comes next. Indonesia has been playing close to about 10 years. Malaysia is following back 5 years now. And then we have newer countries coming in. You got Hong Kong. Dubai just set up a new team now. Then you got Korea. We are trying to set up in Myanmar and Thailand. After this competition, whatever we have throughout for this year, year end, most probably I'll be traveling to Taiwan to set up underwater hockey in Taiwan, and then to India as well.
Alright. Actually, like just now, Carl said, how do you play underwater hockey? Ada score. It's like normal, like macam football ke? Dia ada score ke? Then, like you said, there's 6 versus 6 and all, kan?
How many minutes per half? Okay. Take us through. Like, okay, we're coming to play. How do you guide us through it? Macam like how many halves and so on so forth.
Okay, so
start to finish.
there is currently now at World there's 4 different formats.
Okay.
So you got 6 versus 6, 4 versus 4, 3 versus 3, and now they are introducing 1v1.
1v1 eh?
So 1v1 is more of a exhibition to promote the sport. You
Okay.
just get 2 guys to go versus down. It looks like underwater wrestling a bit. Fighting the ball inside. So for 6v6, we normally play 15, 3, 15. So one half is 15 minutes, and then you have a half time of 3 minutes, and then another half.
3 minutes je. Okay.
And then in between that, players can actually call timeouts as well. So each half you get 1 minute per team timeout. So additional 4 minutes there. And then if it's a draw, they will normally go for time extension. And then if still cannot, then they go into penalties.
Has to be a winner lah.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then for 4v4 is 7 to 7. 7 minutes, 2 minutes, and then 7 minutes.
Also got timeout?
For the round robin times, you don't get timeout. Finals, knockout, you'll get timeouts.
Okay,
So,
understand.
and then the 3v3 is also going with 7 to 7, same timing. But the 3v3, the game format is a little different. They don't use a whole pool. They build like a MMA octagon underwater, and they play in that octagon.
Octagon pula.
Yep.
Okay, cool.
So if you say 3v3, it's very famous in South American countries. They have their own league, they have their own competitions, world championships and all. Towards Asia side, we focus more towards 6v6 and 4v4.
Okay, how about like this country? Do you guys focus on 6-6 or?
Both 6v6, 4v4. So we Malaysia hosts competitions for 6v6 and 4v4.
Okay. Now we wanna ask like the playing. Okay, you said like all the players, like you said 1-on-1, 3-on-3, 4-on-4, dia punya position tu semua ada beza ke? And then like you said tadi ada penalty. How does macam mana you ambil penalty? And then like And then referee tu macam mana dia nak tiup whistle kat bawah dalam
Because
pool
dia mention
tu.
visual kan.
Yeah. Okay, so for this sport, there will be 3 referees in the water, 3 referees out of the water.
Okay.
How do they stop and start game is we have underwater buzzer. So the deck referee on top, they have a button which they click. There's buzzer underwater which we can hear the sound.
Okay.
So there's different sound. For start game, there's different sound. The stop game, there's different sound. So the 3 referees in the water, they will never talk to you. It's all hand signs. So there is about 30 plus hand signs which we need to memorize.
Wow.
So the referees will actually just show you any faults you commit. They'll just show you hand signs. And then referees to stop game and to start game, they just wave their hand. The deck ref will actually hit the buzzer, so we know how to react to it. But there have been discussions as well. So in the development side, we have been talking like to implement, lightings because it's visual.
Yeah.
Like when you start game, it's green light, and then stop game is red light. So you can implement LEDs and all. Some countries are actually venturing into this. They are actually building unique pools like aquarium, where people can sit around, watch the game.
Cool.
But we don't have such facilities in Malaysia yet. So hopefully someday we can have that. China has a 50-meter Olympic pool, which is built like an aquarium, so they can actually play underwater sports.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. So there are discussions like that. How do we select the players to play the sport? So the basic requirement is swimming. So everyone who comes to play underwater hockey come in from swimming background. We also have athletes who are triathletes. We have athletes who are water polo player, swimmers, divers. They come and try out. One unique thing about this sport is those guys coming in from other sports, when they come and try underwater hockey, they tend to stay with underwater hockey. Because one of our tagline is breathtaking experience, or a whole new world. Because once you go down and you look up and you see all these guys swimming around, it's a whole new world down there. So it's macam lagu Aladdin, a whole new world, right? You feel like you're inside a fish tank. People are all swimming around you, and the game is so fast, intense. And then the bond we build with each player, we become so close that we sometimes close eyes, that they are there. Training over time, like me and some of my teammates, even though I still play with them now, been playing together for 4 years, I can just look backwards and pass and I know that guy is already there. You build that instinct, that bonding. And since visual, we can't shout at them underwater, all communication while we're playing. The most we do is maybe tap the stick on the floor to signal that we are here.
Cannot lah, tak ada. Okay.
You do that sound, air comes off, you're out of breath underwater.
Okay, faham.
Yeah, so that uniqueness lah. So the Malaysian team is more like a family. We all go out to train together. We go makan together. We go for our training activities together. So we are all like one big family. Most of the time, even I have my newborn child, all the other players are like family. They come and visit, and they call uncle, auntie. And for me, I call them like the athletes are some of them like my adopted kids. So we do take care of each another quite well. And I will say that the older guys, I'm pretty much the oldest in the team now. The youngest 7, 8 years old, they also come and join in like a family.
7, 8 years old pun ada yang main.
So the community is not really that big yet. Originally, when we started in 2016, there was only like 3-4 hours playing. Now we have about 200 old people who plays underwater hockey in Malaysia. National team, we have 54 for all the age groups. We recently ventured into Tahan University. They had about 120 people who came to try out, and they gave us a base now to train. So the national team now trains in Tahan University. And we are Tahan University yang kat Setapak.
Okay, continue. Sorry.
And we are setting up a team for them there. So we have a few quite training currently to get into the youth team. It's growing, but it's slow because awareness is not there so much. It was always known as a non-mainstream sport or as a recreational sport. Just recently, we got into MSN's core sport 4 years down the line. So we are in the top 60 of core sport. The association is now also recognized by PGS. Before this, we had a category recreational. Now we have underwater sports category. So we are getting there. A lot of work needs to be done, but we are there. We have also other underwater sports in the country. Like I said, we have sport diving, fin swimming, and free diving.
Okay.
So free diving doing quite well. They go for a lot of competitions overseas. They're winning. Fin swimming has also won one medal now in SEA Games. Sport diving is also out there. So the underwater sports community is growing. So what we're trying to do is we're trying to replicate what the other countries are doing. They shuffle athletes between each of these underwater sports. Because it's all water activity.
Yeah.
So in Malaysia also you have a lot of good swimmers. So if they don't get into the 1, 2, 3 podium winning and then they're still within the team, there's another opportunity of them to get into a different sport which they can maybe produce a medal.
Smart.
Okay, ada satu soalan yang I still nak tanya tu. Like you said there's 30 hand signs and all that kan. I'm not asking you to show us all the 30 hand signs. I mean like, okay, kalau football or whatever, dia ada corner, yellow card, penalties and all. Briefly, can you just share us all the...
Okay, so the most
important 5 things.
Most important 5 things. So the most common one is stick infringement. You use your stick to accidentally grab onto the player's hand or whack the player's hand accidentally. So that is stick infringement. And then you have out of bounds, which the ball goes out of play.
Pool.
Yeah, so when you say 25 meter, one side is actually a barrier. We build a barrier underwater made from acrylic. So it's only about 50, 60 cm high. Sometimes you flick higher than that, so it actually goes out of the game. And then another rule we have is a corner rule. So our corner rule is different from football. Corner rule is people like to waste time. They bring the puck to the corner, they jam it there and try to run the clock down. So there is one rule, the first player brings it down there, he runs out of air, he comes up. The second player, if they go there and they continue jamming, you get a corner rule fall. So the opponent gets an advantage. Then you got advantages. If someone gets a fall, the opponent team gets an advantage. There's a hand sign for that. Then there's equal puck. That means 2 guys went in, both also committed fall. Then you get equal puck. The ball is on the middle. 2 will have to charge for the same time.
Hockey, ice hockey, yeah.
We have penalties, but we don't have goalkeeper for this game. But we do have, we call a player, so the New Zealand style or the Australian style is they call the defenders as goalie.
Okay.
You can't go play goalkeeper, but the defender can play goalkeeper. You can go defend front of the tray. So over time, the rules have always been, or the playing style strategy formation has always been forward and back. Over time, a lot of innovations came inside. Now we have forward, we have wingers, we got wing back, you got mid player, got defense. So the game is evolving.
How many positions are there?
As of now, like what Malaysia plays is we play forward, mid and back. But if you break down the back, you got wing back, fast back, slow back. Wingers, mid, so you got fast wing, slow wing. You got winger come forward, or you got central forward, mid player. So it's based on the coach and it's based on the formation we play.
Okay. I'm just visualizing a lot of the moving parts and so on and so forth.
Okay, contohnya lah, I know dia dekat TV I tak pernah tengok. YouTube pun I baru research hari tu tengok. Like, how do you guys study like different other teams ke apa ke? Yeah.
Okay, so most of the time is we don't have much. So I talk from Malaysia perspective.
Yeah.
The most we have actually played with internationally was maybe when we went to SEA Games, where we met the national teams from Asia, Southeast Asia. But world levels, we haven't played with most of the big teams like from UK and all.
Okay.
So what we did was we went and played like club-based games in UK. So we went and played the British Open League. We went there, we actually got second place. Post-COVID, 3 months after COVID, we went there and we got second place.
You were
in our
playing?
category. I was playing as well.
I see.
One advantage Malaysia have is the speed.
Okay.
The speed. Small size and we are fast. So when we view... So like when I brought my youth players to go to Australia, I was 19 tahun, diorang 12 tahun dah sama size with our 19 years old.
Okay.
They're bigger in size. So when we play power to power, strength to strength, we will lose. So we try to run away from them and we use speed. So when I took over as the coach, that time was COVID. So we had 2 years to view a lot of videos, get into Zoom calls with other coaches from other country, try to learn as much as I can. So I'm not really an underwater hockey coach previously, but I had experience coaching futsal, football and all. And when you talk about 6v6, it's very similar to futsal 5v5, diamond shapes and all, how you attack. So I try to use whatever other knowledge I had, I put it inside. Training, endurance, stamina, fitness, I use my triathlon athletic coaching to train them. So when COVID hit us, everyone was stuck at home. We used Zoom, we were training LAN trainings at home. So fitness level was still up.
Yeah.
When we got back to the pool, we used only 3 months to train back, getting used to the water, depth, equalization and all. Then underwater hockey is a lot about muscle memory as well.
Cool.
We trained 3 months. We went for the first competition. We won the first competition. We came back. We continued the same momentum, training back. We focused more onto the youth team. We went to Bali for another competition. We got third and fourth. Then we went to Australian Nationals. Technically, we had third, but just because we can't play in the finals, they moved us to the fifth. But again, that was an achievement getting third. Started to win games. When we started SEA Games, we lost very badly. So 4 teams went, we came fourth. We had scores like 20-0. We lost quite badly. But that time, we only had like 4 or 5 months to prepare before SEA Games. So not the best out of the best team. Now it's a different story. So Malaysia hosted a Malaysia Invitational last year.
Okay.
Round robins, the Malaysian men elite won all the games.
Okay.
Number of goals scored was 48 goals.
Cool.
Compared to the second team in second placing, only scored 20 goals.
Wow.
Double.
So we are producing goals now. But I would say that it's still a very young team. So psychologically, they were overconfident, came out the knockout. They lost to the team which they beat at round robin. They accidentally lost to them 2-1, so they end up getting bronze medal. So then now what we did was we brought psychologists to be in the team, to train them up, prep them up for the upcoming competition. So now we're actually going for the goal.
Wow.
So we have a lot of potential. We are very fast. We have very fit swimmers. And if we compare with players from other countries, they're bigger in size. So when they move underwater, slightly a bit slower. Like you need to turn slightly a bit slower. So we use that in counter-attacking.
Ambil nafas pun, turun pun quite ni.
So what we do is, strategy is, we don't want to fight them on the wall side. We whack them down the center. Yeah, but if this podcast goes online and they all hear, they know our strategy now already. Yeah, but that's how we studied the game and we came up with that. And it's, like I said, it's still evolving. We are taking in a lot of knowledge from other sports we're putting in together. Even though it's an old sports, never had like a proper coaching certification program. We have been coming up with things and all, and finally this Underwater Hockey Congress, which we're going to do in Malaysia, we are the host now. We are going to officially launch the very first level 1 coaching course.
Okay.
And level 1, level 2 referee course as well. So referee course dah lama dah
So
ada.
like people from different countries
They are
will
all coming
come
down to Malaysia to get
Wow.
certified. So Malaysia is actually growing. So originally we were known the baby in underwater hockey, but now we are fighting with the
big
other countries
guns.
up there already.
Okay, when you said you went to Bali, you went to the UK and all, was it just sendirian berhad or time tu dah already known as a sport dekat the country and supported by
it's-
the
Good
government?
question,
Yeah.
Okay, it is known as a sport since 2019 itself. When we went to SEA Games, we had National Association and all. But when we went to SEA Games, again, we were under this B2 category. So it's self-funded. So we went to SEA Games self-funded. Every other competition we went was also self-funded.
Okay.
Cost is normally quite high because it's a team sport. We need to bring teams. And so when we went to UK, since we all had our maximum budget capacity,
Okay.
we didn't even bring our sub players. We only went with 6 and we played against 10.
Oh.
Yeah. So financial tak cukup. So we go with what we have. So which player can afford money to go to UK, we get them on board. We train that as a team and then we went. So if just 1-2 players, if not financially stable, we help to chip in, bring them along to fill up the whole team. But sometimes we can't bring the whole team of 10. We just went with 6.
Okay, how about now?
Now it's a bit slightly different. Again, we don't really, because we're not under like podium program or really core sport like Olympic sport or what, so we don't really get funding.
Okay.
But now when we want to organize competitions and all, we can actually write to KBS for grant. And previously, because we were still not a mainstream sport, we don't really get financial sponsor. We get product sponsors like bath foam, vitamin C, these kinds of stuff. Currently now when we organize our competition, because I think YB Henayo has actually done good in promoting new sports in the country.
Okay.
So when people got to know like, hey, there is such sport, oh, they're struggling, they need financial support. And then also the good thing implemented is the tax reimbursement for people who sponsor sport association now. So that helped bring in some financial sponsor. So for like our upcoming competition, we have a title sponsor which sponsored 50k. WWRC came in. A few other Tune Talk came in, sponsored. Some even small companies, they do sponsor like 5,000, 8,000, 10,000. So they can actually benefit from the tax reimbursement. At the same time, the athlete also got money. So like to organize a world championship in Malaysia cost us about 300 or 1,000. Now we managed to raise that money up and
That's good.
organize it. We have some savings from each competition we organize. Then we use that for the athletes as well back.
Okay.
So hopefully for any competitions Malaysia hosts, we do subsidize our athletes. So we give them 50% off the registration fee. We pay for their hotel. We pay for their training or somehow like that lah.
Okay, okay, you talk about the national punya side apa semua tu. What about macam like obviously macam we compare to some other sports macam like flag football ke, or there are macam leagues and teams. Do you have that?
We don't
amongst you guys.
we don't really have a league because to grow the sport in Malaysia is very hard because that there is not many swimming pools facilities where you can train the sport in. For example, I can share, right, SEA Games time, we were training in a public pool which was slanted, and we only get to train after 9 o'clock after they close the pool. So just imagine all the 15-year-old athletes who are training for SEA Games. Next day morning they got school. We have to wait until the pool close at 9. We get inside, warm up, we finish game 11:30. They go home next day morning 5 o'clock, need to wake up, go back to school. So very hard to train athletes. Then after that we try to get like and plus raining, pool will close and all this stuff. So we tried to get an indoor pool. So we found a indoor swimming school which made pool from polytank.
Okay.
So we were training in a small pool and the depth was only like 1.3. But we are playing competition in 2 meters. So when we try to explain this out to people, say that it's hard for us to train in a shallow pool and then go play in a competition in deep pool, they don't seem to understand that point. So after meeting with YB, we explained all of these things. Then finally, I think Tahan University contacted one of my players because student there. They came in and said like, we have this pool. We can reduce the rent quite cheap as well for you all to come and use. So we went there. The pool is 1.8 now. So 1.8 to 2 meters. Very minimal jump, so it's easier to train there now.
Okay.
So now you're training at Tahan.
Yeah.
I see. How's the community of, you said, yeah, you know, you guys are family. It's good that the bond is bigger, growing and everything within you guys. But orang ada ke like people like slowly, I know you said that it's very hard to grow, but the number of people coming in to like, you know, want to learn about the sport, and is it ada
So
ke ataupun it's just you guys?
When we newly started, when media started to cover this sport,
Yeah,
and it
yeah.
came out onto the papers, came out onto Facebook and all, there was a lot of negative comments. People are saying like, why waste time create new sports? What nonsense is this? You know, all of this stuff. But they think that we are creating something new just to get a shortcut to go into some competitive level. But it's actually an old sport. It's just that there's actually a lot of sports out there. It's just that it's not so well known in Malaysia, or people haven't started yet.
Yeah.
But if we don't start it, we are going to be left out.
Yeah.
For example, if you see fin swimming,
Okay.
so I was involved in their starting up phase. When we wanted to start up fin swimming, no one understood what was it. They said we already have swimming, why waste time with fin swimming?
Fin swimming ni apa?
It's same like swimming, but just pakai fins.
Oh, okay.
So dipanggil renang sirip. It's actually the F1 of swimming.
Oh, yo.
They are much more faster than swimming.
Yeah, some international private schools.
Also in
start
Malaysia
Yeah.
pun ada juga.
Yep. So we started in 2020. We started first. We had some retired Malaysian Olympian yang renang dah retired. They came and tried out the sport. We had about 27 athletes training. But then we saw the benefit. Training fin swimming strengthens the leg. When they go back to swimming, they shave off 2-3 seconds of their swimming time, which is also cross training. So people really don't see the benefit of this underwater sport. Now I would say underwater sport also helps you with recovering from asthma.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's true.
It's known. Free diving helps you recover asthma. But again, excessive breath hold can also cause with brain damage and all of this other stuff. But again, we are not really holding breath like I said, 10 minutes, 15 minutes until you become brain dead or something. Ours is only like 11 seconds, which you can even sit here and do it, you know.
Yeah.
So the misconception, there was a lot out there. So, and then plus it was not so well known. People say like, don't waste time. They're just here for the funding and all. But we grew on our own. We didn't rely on any fundings. We grew on our own. Once the team is big enough, once they started, I remember the challenge I got from KBS at the time was win a medal, the support will come.
Ooh.
So post-COVID, we won the medal, then the support came in.
Okay lah.
So we got into cross sport.
Janji ditepati lah.
And then now we are getting. So
That's good.
I would say the support came in such a way they recognize the sport now, which now gives us that the recognition we need. People start to see like, okay, yeah, this is a legit sport. It's okay for me to sponsor, because when you don't have any record that you are a real sport association, no one wants to sponsor you.
Yeah.
Because they think like, what is my money being used for?
Yeah.
So now when things are properly structured, sponsors are coming in.
That's good. And like so you said, sponsors coming in, but the number of people.
We do get tryouts. So every Saturday is an open day for people to come and try out the sport. So we do get people walking in to come and try out. Again, most of the people coming to try out now are mostly from international schools, expats in the country. We get a lot of overseas players coming down. They study in unis. They come and try to play the sport. Local athletes, they prefer swimmers. They prefer going during the younger age. They focus more to swimming. But as they are aging to retire, they start to figure into different other underwater sports or water polo also. We have a lot of water polo athletes coming to play as well, but I don't really catch out those who are in the national team already. You can cross-train, but you focus into the sport you're doing. There's no point in trying to steal athletes here, because we are all one national team, right?
Yes.
So as long as if you don't have opportunity to represent the country there, then if you can fit into my team and you're good enough to be in the team, then you should definitely join to be part of a national team.
Wow. Best gila.
Tu lah, aku macam like smart, style.
Ni kita tak sembang lagi pasal apa yang dia Mr. Roshan bawa ni.
Yeah.
Stick.
Okay.
Can you like
kalau
share?
pendengar, basically Mr. Roshan ni ada bawa stick hoki ni.
Coba tengoklah kat YouTube.
Kalau YouTube nak tengok, this is the stick. Dia macam apa untuk sawit kelapa pun ada kan? sabit kelapa dia ada ke? But
Yeah, how
do you tell us
how do you hold? So if
tell
you
us
realize
about
there's a
this.
place here to keep your thumb, and then 4 fingers around, you hold the stick, the hook faces you.
Okay.
But again, you can move the stick in any direction.
Okay.
But you can't use the back part, or you can't use any of your fingers to push the part. As long as it touches here, we call it as a gloving fall.
Okay.
You pakai glove kan?
Yeah, you can pakai glove.
Okay.
So you can use any part of the stick, even this side. You can't lift the part up with the stick, that's a fall as well. So you have to push it. When I said flicking earlier, so there's something called as a wrist flick from here. As you slice, so you see there's a curve on your stick, and the ball is round, right? So as you're slicing it, you lift up and you throw, so it will go up. And then you got a full body flick where you bring this hand in, this body drops. You need to get from the hip thrust to the shoulder, and then you throw. So that one will go much more further. And then we got inside hook, you got slicing, you got all your skills. So there's a lot of skills like
So you macam ni lah kan?
this way.
Oh, tolak macam ni?
It's pushing. So you're swimming, the ball is here and you're just swimming with it.
Oh,
Then
tolak,
when you want to
tolak.
pass, you flick it.
Oh. And then you catch the ball also like this.
So when someone stopped you, we can either slap it down, then you stop it, and then you move.
Is there a left-handed?
Yes, there is. This is a right-hand stick. You also have left-handed stick, and then we got one more stick which we call it a switch stick. You can use both left and right hand.
Okay.
Cool.
So there's ambidextrous players. They can use both hands.
Okay.
So sorry, yeah. So during mid-game, can you like switch hands?
So they'll use 2 gloves,
Okay.
1 stick. In between, if they want to change hand, they'll just
Boleh lah.
change the stick.
There's no follow ever.
There's no follow.
Okay.
Okay, I am very interested about kenapa. Is it just yours ke apa? Is it cool ke apa? I don't know kalau orang boleh nampak ke apa. But dia punya ni bat kan nama dia?
Bat rank.
Bat rank nama dia.
That the stick is called a stick or a bat, but this specific stick is called a bat rank.
Dia ada logo Batman ni kat dalam ni. Why is it you personalize buat
No.
ke?
So there's a lot
this.
of various different kinds of stick. So this one, if you see here, there's that 3 holes. This is to reduce drag in the water. There's
Of
also
course,
stick with holes on this side. And then this is more of a neutral or a midfield or a defender stick because the hook is bigger. Forward sticks are normally much more thinner, smaller, shorter, and they don't really have a big hook.
Okay.
Defender stick is much more wider, so they can really bash people or block harder. So different position, they normally prefer different kinds of stick, and different players also prefer different kinds of stick. Some of them tangan tak besar sangat to grab. Now this is maybe pretty much the biggest stick. It's about 30 cm long. Most of the standard stick, like the one I use, is 285. Same model, but shorter a bit, about 1.5 inch shorter, and the grip is also smaller. So different people lah. Tangan genggaman lebih besar, they prefer bigger handle. Smaller size people, they play at smaller stick lah.
Okay, kenapa dia ada logo Batman ni?
I have no idea. Maybe the guy who made this stick, he's based in New Zealand, also an underwater hockey player who ventured into making stick. Now, this one is one of his newest stick which he made 2 years ago. And I do not know why he named it as Batarang and he put out the Batman logo on it.
So memang famous jugalah this stick ni.
Yeah, this stick is becoming quite famous now. Like I used it, I kind of like it, and it has been my most favorite stick for the past 2 years.
Is there a regulation for macam for this equipment, like it has to be wood,
yes,
plastic?
so there is this is polyurethane.
Okay.
There is also wooden stick. So wooden stick, a lot of them they go self-make themselves also.
Okay.
Now beli equipment memang mahal because this one all we need to buy from overseas. It used to cost us like 300 over ringgit per set. One set of stick like this is about 300 ringgit.
Set ni maknanya satu ke atau you dapat
Black and white.
Oh.
So what we did now is in Malaysia we set up a company called 𝙒𝙊𝙍𝙏 or Subaquatics Group Venture. It's all these athletes we got together. We raised the pool of money. We bulk order equipments.
Oh, nice.
So the equipments in Malaysia became affordable. So now we also trademark our own snorkel and also our own brand diving mask. So we have.
Nice.
So equipments are cheap
Dia ada benda ni sebab you can rest the
on the floor.
Okay, basically apa yang aku dengar dekat hujung sekali dia ada bump, ada terlebih sikit ni so that dia boleh letak lah. Kalau ni kena YouTube lah, quite easy lah. So this how you pakai kan?
So it's normally tilting front like that, or you can do this. This is sometimes when we want to hook inwards, you want it raised above so it gets a better grip on the ball.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Some sticks have this, some sticks they don't have.
Okay.
Again, this is a competitive stick. That's why it comes with the holes and all. Some other training sticks don't have the holes and all.
Smart though. Okay, in terms of the goal size, how big is the goal?
The goal is actually a tray. It's 3 meters long.
Okay.
It has like a longkang kat dalam tray tu. So you need to push the ball until it falls into the drain.
Oh.
So 3 meters. Both the format for 4v4 and 6v6, standard goal size 3 meters. For 3v3, the goal size is smaller. I think it's 2 meters. Yeah, 2 meters.
Okay. Last time we had from Hoki to show us how the different types of pegang the stick. Yang ni style pegang macam ni, ni cara pukul macam ni. Do you mind sharing with us?
Ours is pretty much standard, so it's just this way. But
Ada nama ke?
we
Tak ada.
there's no name for it. So it's just the way how we take. So we use a lot of wrist flexibility. So for example, the skills we do. My favorite skill is called figure of 6. I might knock the mic here. So I'll normally swim. I'll draw people to come to me, and then I'll pull the puck underneath in a high speed. They flick it, puck comes here. Then I'll swim off on the other side. There's also, so this one I'm using only the hook to pull in, stop, go. Then we got the most basic one which forwards like to use. They do something called as feint and swerve. So let's say 2 people coming to each another. You bring and then you just move your wrist this way.
Feint.
Okay. Feint and swerve. Then you got figure of 8. So that one you actually drop your stick like this and then you're moving the ball like that.
Okay.
You
You can do that.
So your wrist ni, your
You tilt
jari
it
ni
front.
boleh lah letak bawah.
Tilt it front, so the stick starts to be, so it's wider, right? So you get better grip on the ball.
I see.
Some people like to flicking style also got different. So like me, when I flick, I don't keep the stick flat. I tilt it front, so I get a better grip from here to lift the ball up. So different stick also lah, different user, different stick, different kind of feel
Technique.
on it, different techniques.
Nice.
Okay, ni memang online lah benda-benda ni, tak ada kat kedai sukan, tak ada lagi lah ni.
Hopefully in the future.
We started selling things like mouth guard, mask and snorkel on Lazada online shop.
Nice.
I mean, because this diving mask and snorkel is not only used by underwater hockey, even scuba diving people buy. So when the equipments we sell out, the money we raise, we pump it back to the association.
Nice.
So we set up the association to self-sustain. So I'm a bit of a startup guy. So we, under the association, we buat company. The money we raise, we bring back. And then we also had problems with, you know, how athletes after retirement, no source of income. So what we did was we set up a swimming academy called Aquatic Discovery Malaysia now. We train up our athletes to become coaches. And then we send them out. Some of them are easily earning 5K in a month now, just by part-time
Just
coaching.
Yeah. Okay. I just want to talk about your hopes.
For the sport.
No. Before we go hopes, the challenges, then the hopes, then your macam your what you call that, personal ambitions for this.
Okay, so
Boleh.
Sekejap. Sorry
Okay.
Is there any like safety protocols tak?
Betul.
Before you swim benda tu?
yes. So normally when athletes come to train this sport, first thing we need to know if they can swim. Second thing is they need to know how to use the equipments and dive. So they need to learn how to snorkel. The basic of this sport is still snorkeling. You need to learn how to breathe from the snorkel. Once we teach them all of that, then we teach them on the safety of using the equipments in the game. Because we don't want, there are incidents people get too excited, they're swimming with the stick, they whack the player's head with the stick and all that stuff. So we kind of teach them how to not do that. And then also comes with the right way of using your equipment. Because at the end of the day, any kinds of equipment can become a weapon if you use wrongly. So we teach them what to do and not to do. Most of our players are also trained lifeguards. So in case of any
Emergency.
drowning or concussion or what, our president and our secretary are both in charge for their emergency doctors lah. So they handle all these accident cases and all. So whenever we have any nasty injury, me myself, I broke my nose during training. We had a clean break of the finger. So we rush them. Nearest hospital we go to is University Hospital, where the president is based there. So we get ourselves treated there as well. So in any sports you can have injuries, but we try to minimize this one. If you talk about safe sport, I think, your past program, so you have Sarina has been promoting safe sport. So KBS has actually given out, we had to sign this memorandum that we are all going to implement safe sport. So each team now we have a dedicated coach and a dedicated team manager to take care of the well-being of the athletes. Fights, argument in the team is very minimal. So from coaching football and all last time, we always have these arguments. Underwater hockey, we don't really have that. We do have arguments when someone commits a very nasty fall. For example, if you can't reach, you go grab the person by the neck or something. So it happens. But it's just that spur of the moment when you can't shout underwater. You come out of the water, you shout, you scold each another, and then back friends playing. Right? It happens there. But we never had incidents of people whacking each other and all. Never. So that's the thing. We built it like a family. So it's all, we are able to talk it out there.
You came along to that question of like the challenges. So you did note that.
So that is one of the challenges we had last time.
And you did put your hopes macam like through that safety element that minimize it semua tu. Any more hopes for the sport?
So I really hope the sports will grow because it's a very niche, unique sport. In fact, now the sponsors who are coming to sponsor us, what we do is we do like a team building program for their employees. We get them to come and try out the sport. We train them, and then when they play as a team, that boost their morale. They can work together. They have understanding. They can communicate. I even had some athletes which came in. They are so shy they don't talk, and over time we train them up. Now they are captains of their team and they're starting to talk. So they are out of that shell. They become leaders. So it's niche, it's unique, and I hope more people can come and enjoy the sport. Even though they don't become a national athlete or what, it's a very friendly sport. For example, I'm partially deaf on my right side. I can't hear. I have 27 broken bones. I can still play the sports competitive. I went to UK to play. There are people aged 75 still playing the sport in water with the elites.
This is so impressive.
Because once you go underwater,
Easy
everyone is
je.
equal. Experience makes the difference. So there is no limitation. I mean, a lot of people now, when they are 30, 40 years old, they said, I can't play already, time to retire. And then you're inside the water. It's not like land sport. You have your knee pain and all, your fully impact sport, right? When you're underwater, buoyancy helps you.
Yeah.
And
Recovery,
if you say swimming burns the most calories, 30 minutes of swimming burns 400 calories. Now we are kicking fins and we're sprinting and going on. So easily one game you play, you're burning like 800 to 1,000 calories there. So that's the reason why most of us in underwater hockey quite fit, is because after you play one training session, you can go eat whatever you want to and you'll burn it all off.
Balon lah. Kau
Wah, betul loh.
Because our training sessions are 3 hours now. We can easily go eat like nasi kandar and then still feel hungry.
Nice.
What's the plan for like to widen the audience
So we are trying very hard to get more facilities on board. I'm trying to work as much with other international schools, schools yang ada swimming pool.
Correct.
We are also looking to work with swimming academies. Once they graduate, learn to swim, they got option to pick. Either they want to go to competitive swimming, can go to water polo, can go to diving, then you got underwater hockey, fin swimming, so they can continue doing the sport. We don't want kids come and learn to swim. After finish, know how to swim, they're out. So we want to keep them active. The other biggest problem we see is, yes, we can touch base with international school, but government schools don't have swimming pool. So how do we get swimming pools there? So there have been discussions now how to get budget swimming pools made from containers and all of this stuff to get swimming pools to train them up. To get a lot of these kids from the government school to come through swimming academies is also expensive. To learn swimming at public facilities now, I think it's the cheapest, so it's like 80 ringgit per class, 250 per month. So it's not cheap. So again, KBS has been doing a good job by promoting the class renang thing for the B40 community. On our side, we're also doing it. We are promoting to B40 community kids to come and try out the sport. That's one reason why we brought the training fees to as cheap as we can. So before this, we used to charge 180, went up to 200, then came to 180. Now we are 100 ringgit per month. We have 8 sessions in a month, and each session is 3 hours. And then we have additional land training as well. Sometimes I bring them to Bukit Jalil. We train outside the stadium. So we open it up. We encourage the athletes to bring their parents as well. So the parents also come and run with us, train with us to stay fit. So it's becoming like a bigger family now. So it's not only the athletes. Athletes' family are also on board. Now the athletes' family, they go promote to their friends. They are coming to try out. And then their kids are also coming in now. So it's growing.
Kita orang boleh datang tengok ke?
Can. You can come and try out as well.
Tengok dulu lah. Can try. So now my kaki tengah sakit. Tapi nak like how if like you can tell the audience and all, like how do we come and firstly play, see and play.
Okay, so we used to charge a tryout fees of 20 ringgit. That was to cover the pool cost. But now we practically waive that off. You want to try out the sports, you just need to let us know, because we need to prepare the equipments for you. So you can go up to our Instagram page or Facebook page. Just look for Malaysia Underwater Hockey Association, and then for Insta is UWH Malaysia. So just go there. You can just drop us a message. If we know that you're coming, we will normally add you to a WhatsApp group, and then we'll coordinate from there, get to know what is your fin size, what equipments you need, and then we'll prepare everything. Then you can just come and try out the sport. Normally for trying out the sport, we'll spend about 1 hour with you. We'll teach you the basics of swimming the right way, diving, how to do snorkeling, how to stay down at the bottom of the floor, how to move the park, how to curl, and all the basic stuff. And then we will let you play about 15 minutes of fun game.
Okay.
And then after that, the national team will also be training there. You get to watch the national team, how they play the rail speed game. Sometimes if the game is a bit more slower, we'll form the new guys to form a team, and then we'll play against the national team, or we'll mix them up and play a friendly game as well.
Nice.
So again, it's based on the level of the new guys coming in. Some of them quite a good swimmer. They got do scuba diving and all, so we put them in straight into the game.
Nice.
Wow.
We can talk more and more, but we tease that up for future.
Okay. Before we end, do you want to give like a shout out, or to like want to say anything other than follow Instagram ke anything?
So do follow up our Instagram. Do come and check out the sport. Do follow the athletes as well. Some of the younger athletes are doing very, very well. They are becoming quite famous now in other countries also. People are posting their photos there and all, and inviting them to come and play. So I hope that Malaysia can also recognize these athletes. I mean, we are not in Olympic sports yet, but they are doing their best for their country.
Are you guys heading there?
Yes,
you see, to be in the Olympic sport, the game needs to be spectator friendly, because Olympics makes money from selling off tickets.
Correct.
Yeah.
Now the game is still underwater, so it's very hard to see. But again, the host country, if it's willing to invest into building a pool, which like I said, like in China, macam aquarium tu kan, can be there. For example, fin swimming, which is another underwater sport, has been listed for Paris Olympics before this, and then when they cut all down, they remove them out because not many countries still. So again, we are heading towards that. It's in SEA Games already, which is a multi-sport event. It has been proposed for Asian Games. When I got into the development committee at Worlds, we even proposed this to be in the Commonwealth Games. So it is heading towards there. next 2027, Malaysia is the host for SEA Games. We are actually working to see if we can actually put this sport in back to back with Singapore. Will be putting it in 2029.
So ada continuity lah. Nice.
Okay, that is about it, and we are going to the final segment. Thank you so much for sharing about underwater hockey, and kita sendiri dah betulkan it's not pool hockey, it's underwater hockey.
It's a good hook.
Alright, before we end this, kita nak tahu a bit lah about you personally. Is there any I don't know, kalau underwater hockey tak tahulah kalau ada sports club ke apa yang you support kan. Tapi kalau if do you watch any other sports or whatever, or what do you support kalau tak atlet ke apa ke?
My favourite club, sure, all talking bad about masa gua sekarang, Manchester United.
Manchester United.
So
at this point of time.
Yeah. So I mean, I still believe in them. When I went to UK, I went and visit Old Trafford. So
dream come true.
It's a club which I still support, even though they are not doing quite well. I hope they'll get back on track. But it's Manchester United.
They're doing well.
They'll get there.
They get there. If two-prong apa? If it's not underwater hockey, what would you be today?
Dia banyak tu sukan dia kan. Okay,
At this point, I think I will still like to play football. But I think with the injuries I have, I won't be able to do it. But I still try to go play futsal, to stay fit lah. But if I get to come back into doing another sport, I think it will be triathlon.
Oh, nice.
Iron Man.
Yeah, I still trying hard. So me and my wife, we made an agreement after SEA Games. So she's also an underwater hockey athlete, and she's now the chief referee for Malaysia. So
chief referee,
yeah. So,
family.
So yeah, we got married after SEA Games, and last year we got married. Now we got our newborn kid, which is 7 months old, and we are starting to train her swimming. Hopefully, she can get into underwater hockey someday. But we
no pressure, little bit.
Again, we push her to do any sport she wants.
No pressure, little baby.
So we too had a challenge that once we settle down the family, we want to do a full or at least a half Ironman together.
Oh, that's
Wow.
nice.
Start together, finish together. So we wanted to do that. So yeah, the bike is all sleeping at home for now, but maybe we'll do it in the year to come.
Nice.
Yo, sangat inspiring ah.
Tua.
Alright, is there any other sports that you still want to learn? I know you banyak sukan yang you join and you tahu daripada lepas ni dia tengah nak belajar, dia nak buat underwater rugby pula.
So that is a sport which I actually want to learn because I do not know the sport. We had one girl in our team, underwater hockey team. She played underwater rugby in Australia. So she wants to pioneer it, but she's currently busy with work and all. So I told her that I will help to set up the association and hopefully I will learn the sport at the same time and setting it up.
Okay.
Nice.
And kalau dekat Better Call Sukan ni, we have a lot of rare sports or different sports. Is there any topic or any sports that you want us to call? Do you think that we should?
Have you all covered obstacle sport?
Obstacle sport macam mana tu ah?
Obstacle sport is like, the Ninja Warrior?
Oh, that one
Something like that. Obstacle sport.
Sini.
Yang apa ni? Spartan,
Spartan.
Viper.
Viper.
We have national athletes for that. It was in SEA Games also. So that's something quite interesting. I'm seeing a lot of new obstacle course gyms setting up in the country as well.
Oh, okay.
So that's maybe something you can.
Alright. Nak boy.
And the other one is
Settlekan.
I think korf ball.
Korf ball? Batuk bola?
No, KORF ball. Because I went for my sports science program and there were two coaches from korf ball and they were trying to explain something like combination of basketball and bola jaring. You should check them out also.
KORF.
KORF.
Okay.
Okay, so two-prong question. Favorite athlete and favorite coach of all time?
Favorite athlete, Eric Cantona.
Nice. It's a very good answer.
Favorite coach, Alex Ferguson.
Nice. In our sporting things we do in sports, and we definitely watch all the movies and TV shows. Your favorite fictional sporting character?
Rocky Balboa.
Memang dia nampak dia follow.
Sports guy
I like to watch all the sports movies lah. And if you say sporting character Rocky, how much pain or hit he takes, he will come back at the end.
Yeah. I can see why you can connect. Okay.
Because my favorite tagline is pain is temporary, pride is forever. So it links with that.
So that links to the final question. Your favorite quote and saying that you keep.
Yeah, pain is temporary, pride is forever.
Nice.
Kejap, I pada Google ni scoffball ni. Macam ni lah. It's like basketball lah. And ada kat Malaysia juga. Okay, we can.
They have been to some competitions and they got win.
Oh, okay.
Okay, nak
Change the
boy.
spot lah.
Let's go. Let's jump. Alright, last time we're gonna give you promote underwater hockey again to people because
For
like
this
this is a
episode.
very interesting. And you are so inspiring today, sharing that. Do tell them.
Yeah, so come and try out underwater hockey. It's fun. It's a big family. We have big events coming next year. Malaysia is the host for the Age Group World Championships. We have 18 countries coming in with over 650 athletes.
Nice.
Malaysia will be setting 4 teams, and I hope you guys can actually support the Malaysian team.
Yes, thank you very much, Mr. Roshan. Seorang Malaysian atlet dan coach. Well, dia dah bukan atlet dah kan, dia dah jadi coach. You're the pioneer lah kan for Malaysia underwater hockey. We hope from Better Call Sukan, we hope all the best for you, for your sport, for your team to be bigger, better and brighter for like the upcoming years and all. Yeah.
Thanks guys.
And also harap ada pelapis-pelapis and all. Mungkin kita lah kot.
No lah.
Kita datang tengok.
No, we come and
I actually tengah cari players above 34 for my masters team ni.
Tak layak lagi. Tak layak lagi. But for me, I'm really excited that macam I really hope that 2027 KL
may have something.
Tak, I hope yang ni dia, yang dia kata yang ada aquarium tu. Daripada pergi aquarium tengok ikan baik tengok orang main.
We actually looking into it. If we have the funds, we have the place, we will build a pool like that in Malaysia and we will make it as the national underwater sports facility where we can build all the other underwater sports.
Ya, mesti best lah. Asyik tengok ikan, syamu, apa dekat SeaWorld tu semua kan. Tengok orang main sports betul.
Kan?
It's quite cool. Tapi sekarang macam mana nak tengok kalau SEA Games tu dia macam mana?
We have a live telecast. So even for all these competitions we're doing in Malaysia, we're bringing it from US.
Okay.
We have underwater streaming, which we will put it onto YouTube lah for live streaming.
Oh, memang
and
ada
then
lah.
we will set up like a lounge or so. If spectators come to see, there is like a seating lounge there with the TV screens so they can watch the game.
Oh, okay, faham. Kau tengok macam tu.
The game is very fast, so camera dia pun ikut. And then once it goes to some sides and then the players block, you really can't see. It's not like football where you got camera on top and all, right?
Cok, dia kata 3 referee kat dalam, 3 referee kat luar. Lepas tu orang kamera lain pula.
Camera is automated. Dia ada kamera kat tepi.
Oh, macam swimming pool, macam
it's on a rail. It will move from the side with the game.
Oh, okay. Ingat ada orang bawa kamera kat bawah.
Ada competition yang orang bawa kamera juga.
Ada juga.
Ada yang pakai drone, underwater drone, submarine drone tu. That one also got.
Cool.
Oh, yo.
Okay, tahan. Kita buat lagi.
Alright, thank you so much for listening to this very interesting episode. Do follow underwater hockey on all social media platform, Instagram, Facebook ada. Do follow Better Call Sukan also on all media platforms. If you guys nak any other rare sports or like different kind of sports, ataupun kalau nak sports yang normal sports yang kita orang tak panggil lagi, do let us know so we can call them. And yeah, I am so inspired and amazed for today punya episode. Thank you so much again for spending your time and effort to share everything with us. So we from Better Call Sukan, thank you again. Alright, any
thank you
last
from
words?
underwater hockey also.
Yes, sure. Memang kita orang nak datang tengok.
Boleh.
Any last words? No, Kal?
Jom.
Alright, with that, thank you everybody. My name is Arif Daniel.
I'm Carl.
Roshan.
Alright, and we will see you soon. Bye bye and thank you.
Audio Plus.